The orbital station's cafeteria hummed with the white noise of recycled air and murmured conversations. Orla sat alone at the corner table, her translucent skin catching the artificial light and patterns that betrayed her emotional state currently. A dull gray that signified resignation. She was Zethari royalty, though that meant little here, 47 light-years from her homeworld. What mattered more to the human colonists and traders aboard Station Kepler 442 was the irregular dark webbing beneath her dermis, the genetic mutation that marked her as Katva flawed. Among her people, such imperfections were statistical anomalies, occurring in 1 of every 10 million births. Among humans, she'd learned, they simply made her more alien. Oscar Chen adjusted his neural interface band and scanned the crowded cafeteria, his augmented vision overlaid biometric data on every face, but he disabled it with a thought. 20 years as a xenobiologist had taught him that the most important observations couldn't be quantified. He noticed her immediately, not because of her isolation, though that was notable, but because of the complexity of her bioluminescent patterns. Most humans saw Zethari's skin as merely decorative, but Oscar had spent 3 years studying their physiology. Those patterns were language, emotion, and physiological feedback all at once, and all as patterns told a story of brilliant cognition suppressed by social exile. He collected his synthesized protein ration and walked directly to her table. "This seat taken?" Oscar asked, already lowering his tray. Orla's skin flickered surprise, suspicion, a flash of something that might have been hope. "You are either ignorant or intentionally defiant," she said in perfect standard, her voice carrying the slight harmonic undertone of her species. "I am Katva, I know," Oscar said, settling into the chair. "I'm xenobiology faculty at the research wing, Dr. Oscar Chen." "Then you understand that my genetic deviation is considered contaminating by many species standards." Her skin pulsed with a bitter purple. "Your colleagues cross to the other side of corridors when they see me." Oscar took a bite of his meal, chewed thoughtfully. "My colleagues are idiot. Your mutation increases neural pathway density by approximately 40%, if I'm reading your patterns correctly. Your people's obsession with genetic uniformity is evolutionary maladaptive." For the first time in the 3 months since Orla had boarded the station, someone had looked at her flaw and seen something other than deficiency. Her skin bloomed with cautious amber. "You can read bioluminescent standard?" she asked. "Enough to know you're thinking faster than you're speaking." Oscar smiled. "What brings Zethari royalty to a human research station?" "Exile, technically." Orla's fingers traced the edge of her water bulb. "The collective deemed my presence at court problematic. Too many questions about expansion policy, too much analysis of resource allocation inefficiencies. When a princess is Katva, her political inconvenience becomes untenable, so they sent you here, to study human Zethari trade relations, a position simultaneously prestigious and marginalizing." Her skin rippled with dark humor. "I suspect they hope I'll marry a human and spare them the embarrassment of my continued existence in Zethari space." Oscar leaned back. "Would that be so terrible?" "I am a scientist, Dr. Chen, not a diplomatic bargaining chip." Her pattern sharpened to crystalline blue defiance. "I have 17 published papers on quantum entanglement communication, all rejected from Zethari academic circles because my genetic markers are appended to my name. Here they're rejected because I'm alien." "I've read your work," Oscar said quietly. "The paper on using biological neural networks as quantum computing substrates was extraordinary. You proved consciousness itself could serve as an error correction mechanism for quantum decoherence." All her skin went completely white, pure shock. "That was published under a pseudonym in a minor journal." "How did you?" "Because I'm working on the same problem from the opposite direction." Oscar pulled up a holographic display from his wrist unit. "Human neural augmentation using Zethari bioengineering principles. But I'm missing something. The integration keeps failing at the quantum level." He rotated the projection. Orla's eyes widened as she saw the data and immediately spotted the error. "Your dimensional mapping is inverted," she said, her fingers moving through the hologram, rearranging molecular structures. "Human neurons fire through different chemical pathways. You need to hear and compensate for the temporal lag." They worked through lunch, then through the afternoon. Oscar's lab became their shared space. The station's personnel watched with varying degrees of confusion and disapproval as the solitary alien princess and the eccentric human scientist spent 18-hour days in collaboration. 3 months later, they submitted their joint paper to the Interspecies Journal of Bio. 6 months after that, it was published with full honors. The neural augmentation protocol they developed became the foundation for humans' eutheri diplomatic exchanges, allowing true neurological understanding between species. But more than the taller skin had changed. The dark webbing remained, but her patterns now flowed with constant iridescent complexity, the mark of someone fully engaged with existence. The collective has requested my return, she told Oscar one evening in the observation deck. They wish to re-evaluate my status. Will you go? I don't know. She watched Earth rotate below them, a blue marble wrapped in clouds. For the first time, I'm uncertain about what I want. Among my people, I was flawed. Here, I'm alien. But with you, you're exactly who you are, Oscar finished. Which is brilliant, difficult, and absolutely irreplaceable. Ola's skin blazed with golden light joy, gratitude, something deeper. Among Zethari, this pattern means, I know what it means, Oscar said, his hand finding hers. I've been studying. No one had wanted to sit with a flawed alien princess, but one man had sat beside her with purpose, not to fix her, not to use her, but to see her. And in that seeing, both had discovered something neither had been looking for, a partnership that transcended species, prejudice, and the arbitrary definitions of perfection. In the cold mathematics of space, they had found the most improbable variable of all, each other.